one summer working among migrant workers in California and just seeing how it was so intimately involved in the needs of the community, needs of a very specific community. It was a beautiful experience working with a missionary team.
I had the opportunity to preach 2 different missions in English and Spanish. So I don't know a lot of Spanish, but even though there is a barrier, the way that we live really give the people a sense that we actually preach the Word of God through our life.
The other opportunity I had is to work in Saint-Anne-de-Beaupré in the shrine, and people are coming from different places. They need people to welcome them, and you see when you welcome them, you give that the sense they belong to the church.
The experience I have has been in cooking for the community of the homeless. So we go down and we say Mass together. We cook the meal together. We eat the same food. So it's almost like 3 communities: the Redemptorist community, the parish community, and then the wider community of the homeless who come in for food.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses.
We welcome you as we gather for our chapter sitting, which we are going to hold over the next few days. You all are aware that there's been a fair amount of preparation.
At this time in our life, we try to organize ourselves into what we call missionary centers. And again, that just reflects how we prefer to do our work as communities. We try to join together as priests and brothers and to have lay missionaries or other laity working with us so that we'll have a kind of a community setting.
As Redemptorists, in our considerations over these next few days at the chapter, we're going to hopefully come to terms with some of the things that will help us plan and prepare for the future, and we're going to spend some time together sharing our lives together, which is part of our world as Redemptorists.
The term missionary center is based, of course, on the inspiration of Alphonsus and the early Redemptorists. Basically, it's saying that we want to act consciously. In other words, it is as a community, the members of that community who seek to see what are the needs around in that place and how can we most effectively and concretely respond to that situation.
We might have some of our people working directly in the parish with others who do outreach through teaching or working at a counseling center, others who might be out advocating for justice with those who are poor. We sponsor and give structure to a training program for youth ministers right across the country.
As you know, the Redemptorist have supported youth ministry for a long time in various forms through Serve and Plug In with Christ, and I think
we've seen needs to teach in moral theology. What's right and wrong, and how do I know this, and how do I live a good faith life? Put that into action. We trained ourselves, but we've also supported the training of many laity to go out and to get a PhD level of education.
And I think it'd be interesting for us to talk a little bit about this growing sense that there's such a thing as more than the Redemptorist congregation, there's a Redemptorist family.
I'm quite moved by this idea of a family that connects me to the Redemptorists. And when you ask about ministry...
And so we try to have a number of people who are living and praying and working together. And that allows us to help one another.
分主坐下，每主约50人。
One of the ministries that we've had a long tradition with is trying to reach out to those people who are new to Canada.
每一个人都是可以去。
And so what do we have to do? We have to learn their languages. And so if we go back over many years, and even as we look forward, we've always been supporting Redemptorists in learning different languages.
It's looking at the parish through missionary eyes. And I think this is the face and going to be increasingly the face of the church. How do we live with these new realities? How do we allow the Word of God to take flesh in them and plentiful redemption to be proclaimed through them?
Have a good day, okay? Glad you're here. I put my hand
We allow ourselves to be challenged by the reality that we see before us and listening to the voice of the Spirit that comes to us through the Scriptures and through God's people, especially the poor. How do we respond?
And before we discern to be a redemptorist or to join a religious life, have to be honest with ourselves in terms of what is my idea of community, what is my idea of redemptorist, and what is my idea of religious life, of serving the poor and the most abandoned.
Through being a community and being a visible community, we're witnesses to people in the wider community.
Once you get more than one person, then you start having a group, you start having a community. And once you start having a community, you can start organizing, you can start really attacking the issues that impact the wider community.
Well, it's my pleasure to be part of that because, I hope good for this congregation. They have done good to me, and if it's any way I can contribute for my participation, my presence to be a contribution to help the congregation grow, I will always be willing and open to any ideas to help that. It's my pleasure also.
Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. 你的家纪念，以下的原罪的公义见证。Faites sur la terre comme au ciel. Donne-nous aujourd'hui notre pain de ce jour. And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Y no de nosotros mocoso, alabanza a